Hello, my name is Melissa Ambers, and a couple of days ago, I did a recording, a webinar from Ideas to Influence to share some information with you on how you can use ChatGPT to write a book that will save you time and money. But due to some of the technical difficulties that was throughout that presentation, I am re-recording the presentation and offering the same offer that I did on the initial presentation. So we're going to go ahead and get started in the presentation it's the exact same presentation, but we're just re-recording it for you. So here wrote the title, From Ideas to Influence, Leveraging AI to Write Your Book and Become a Thought Leader. I have written a book last year. I told the last quarter of last year, I I've written four books in 1 month, and the books were shared, of course, sent out, sold, and shared with some of my circle. And I was asked the question, did you really write these one with ChatGPT and within a month? Yes to both questions. How was I able to do that? At a time where personal stuff was happening and all of that, I was in a place to where I needed distraction. And this is one of my distractions, is that I was able to think about some other things, which gave me the opportunity to really push, and get things out. And as I was doing that, it's like things just kept coming, kept coming, kept coming. And while it was coming, I was just, okay, I was just doing it, going. And to be transparent, once I finished all four of these books, I, thought about, is this, valuable enough? Can you tell that it was written with ChatGPT? Is it going to sound, um, take the human aspect out of it? Is it not going to be reality? Even though I've gone through the entire book, I've read it, I know it's in there, I still had these thoughts. And having those thoughts is only natural for all of us. So I just want to encourage you and show you that it is possible. It's all about how you're prompting your information, staying true to who you are and whatever your niche is. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. So here is a slide who introduces me. So who is Melissa? I am an AI integration strategist, author, podcaster, introvert, and international speaker. I have spoken in different countries via online. Recently was invited to actually go out of country as a panelist speaker. I've worked in HR and project management for over 20 plus years. So I understand processes, eliminating waste, creating systems. And that's what all of these books are basically about. But in this digital era where we have to shift and do things differently, we're not going to get into what all of the books are about, but just really showing you some of the things of how to go through the process so you'll be able to get your book done. These are all four of the books that were written in a month of 2023. The very first one is Beyond Business as Usual, Leading the Digital Era. This book was released first, October of 2023. And when this book was released, everything is self published. But when this book was released, probably 2 or 3 months after that, a publishing company reached out to me and they loved the book, wanted me to come out to LA Times Book Festival. But unfortunately, due to the time frame, um, from when they told me and when it was time for me to go, it just was not enough time to prepare and get things together. So I was not able to attend that. But they gave me an amazing review from their editors. I think they have an editors panel or advisory board or something. I was rated number 9, editor's choice. That's what put me in the runnings to be invited under their umbrella to this book festival. And among some other things that, speaking engagements that I've been invited to, some trainings. And it is also in the Houston Public Library shelf. It is in the process of getting its catalog number right now, but it has been approved and it is on shelves. Well, will be on the shelves at the Houston Public Library as soon as it gets its number assigned to it, and you will be able to go check it out at the Houston Public Library. The next two books was released some months later. And because as I was writing this, I didn't realize it at the time, but as I finished writing these books, they complement each other. They kind of go hand in hand with each other. They're not the same, but they complement each other. So I was talking to one of my mentors and we were just talking about it and everything. And she was like, you know what, they kind of like their cousins in a way. I was like, you're right, they are. So cousins, I took it and turned into an acronym. So cousins mean connected operational unity for strategies and navigating success. So again, these two books definitely complement each other, and these were released sometime later. Strategic Synergy has not been released yet. That will be released in November 2024. So again, all of these books was written in 2023, but I just sat on them and to space them out an amount of time to release these books. So the last one to be released will be Strategic Synergy, and that is in November 2024. And then we have one that we just finished about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I've been sitting on that since that time. That one is more about branding. And I'm not going to share anything about that one yet, but that probably will be released in early 2025 or late 2024. I'm not sure yet. So, but we constantly working on these to get the books out, and it's all about those things that's in you. Put them in a book so you can share them, so others can have access to your processes, your skill, your experience. So that's why I think everyone should really start writing books and putting these things out now that we have an opportunity to get it done a lot quicker and still be just as valuable, if not more. Okay, so we are here on the agenda, and this is what we're going to go through, and we're going to talk about these things today. How AI can streamline the writing process and save you money and time, actionable strategies for becoming a thought leader, and common challenges in traditional book writing, and some success stories. So here are some issues that so many of us go through, including me, even though I've gone through the process. It's almost like, you're in a box of puzzles and trying to figure out how to put all the pieces together. You have all of these things running through your mind of, creating a strategy. What is the issue? Trying to be perfect, making mistakes, how to write, why to write, what is, the thing you're talking about. So we'll use something simple as leadership. What is leadership? Um, and you just keep having all of these thoughts and everything going through your head. So we want to, try to help you not get so tied up in or overthink what needs to be done or how it needs to be done. And we know challenges, challenges, challenges. These are a lot of challenges that are stopping you from moving forward. Research, ghostwriting costs, endless drafts, the editing, investment in time and money, and the list can, continuously go on. Also, a challenge if you're just feeling stuck, you're in this place where you're trying to move forward, you're trying to do things differently, it's just not happening, and you're just feeling stuck and just trying to figure out how can you get out of this, how can you do it differently. And then we have this where I'm not going to write the book. It's too much money, it's too much time. I don't have the time right now. I have all of these other obligations that I have to worry about. But the author in you keeps pulling you back. It's just like this image. It has a hook in you. You're constantly running from it, running from it, but it's constantly pulling you back uh, to sit down, get this book done, get all that out of you and down on paper. But we know that you've got this, right? We know that once you go through all of these things and you can relax, you can bring it down a little bit, and just get yourself in that space that you got this, that you can write this book. It's not going to be as difficult as you're making yourself believe that it is, but there are tools that you have access to right now that are not expensive that you could get your hands on to help you do this. And one of these tools is Chat GPT. And guess what? If you're on the free version, you can still write this book. But of course, the paid version, you can do a little bit more, but you can still get this book done on the free version as well. So, are you excited? Are you ready? It's time to go get your pen and paper and get ready so you can write your book and get all of these things, these thoughts and information out of you into paper in a book so you can hand it off to others so they can grow from your knowledge. So let's start here. This is the most important thing, the very first thing that we all look at that we get nervous about is prompting. What are the prompts? What do I say? What do I ask? I just don't know what to do. What do we do in prompts? Prompts are just simply talking. It's a conversation. What are you going to do? Don't make it so difficult that you're stressing out about it. Just relax. Take a breath, take a breather, get your drink of water, and get ready to write your book. It's not as difficult as we make it seem. And just in human nature, we tend to get make things harder than what they really are, and it's not. So just relax and get ready to put that book out. This is a fun way to consider using ChatGPT because you want to think of it as your partner. You're sitting down across the table or you're on the phone talking to your friend, your partner, or whoever you want to call it. And when I say you want to name it doesn't have to be a relative or friend unless that's how you feel. If you want to be somebody you know that you may never talk to on a personal level, but you want to have that conversation, go for it. I did. So sometimes I call it Vin Diesel. Vindy, I need to have a conversation. Let's go talk. And we will sit down and have a conversation. Depending on my mood, I may switch it over and call Idris. So, depending on how you feel, call them whoever you want. But make it like a conversation that you're sitting down and having this conversation with someone. When you're prompting, make sure that you are being very, very clear. Being clear is very important. But even if you're not sure of what to say, you can say that you're not sure what to say. You don't know how to say. Just be clear, ask that, and it's going to help you with those thoughts. Example of clarity is for here, I will write about leadership, and you will prompt ChatGPT with describe 3 leadership qualities that are essential in managing remote teams in the tech industry. You're telling what you want. You want 3 leadership qualities, and why do you want them, and what's the whole purpose of them? I want something that's essential in managing remote teams. So not just remote teams, but managing remote teams, and the essential piece of it. So just be clear about that. And then you also said in the tech industry, so you're letting it know what direction you want it to go. It doesn't have to be this specific, but it helps when it is. So it really depends on what you're asking and where you're trying to go before you get very specific like this. When you're prompting, it's okay to say, I don't know. I've done it many times. I know what I want to say. I'm not quite sure how to say it. And I just say that. I don't know how to say this, but this is what I want. I want to go in this direction. I don't know if this is the right way to go or not. I would like to hear your thoughts. And it's going to spit out a whole lot of stuff. And based on what it spit out, it's going to answer your question, or it's going to help you with the thought that you had and push that on out. There's a chance that it's going to give you more information that you hadn't thought about, that you'd be like, you know what? I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's good. Let me add this in. So now it's giving you more and more information. So this is how you're able to write a book. You're putting that information out, but it's then feeding you information and making you think more. And it's like, oh yeah, let me talk more about blah, blah, blah. So it's okay to say you don't know as you're prompting through ChatGPT. Refine as you go. Don't get so bogged down with grammar, sentence structure, punctuation. Chat doesn't care. It's there to help you. It's not going to judge you on English. It's not going to judge you on that. It's going to help, again, pull out certain things. And even if you misspell a word, 9 times out of 10, as it reads your sentence, it's going to catch on to what you're asking it. But there is a chance that it may not. And if it does not catch on to what you are asking, it's going to tell you that I don't know what you're asking for, or I'm not quite sure what you mean by this. And then that's when you can, even if you still don't know, okay, well, let me say it differently. And then it'll kind of say, do you mean this? So there are opportunities there, and there's things that you can say to help you, as you're, refining, doing those different things. For your sentence structure, same thing. What is it you want it to say? The example here: summarize the key points in a bullet format with a professional tone. That's great if you want to do that, but that's not necessary to use ChatGPT and to get information out. But it's always good when you could be as specific as you can. If you want it to be, a little comical, you're not quite the comedian, but you want to be a little comical to kind of ease the mood in what you're doing, you can say this. These are the things I want you to say, but put it in a Wanda Sykes voice or Kevin Hart's voice, Jimmy Kimmel voice, whoever that may be. You can do that. But if you want a little bit more stern, or say you have a favorite mentor or a professional speaker that you watch on YouTube all the time, or podcast, or whatever platform, you can say, put it in this person's voice, and it will catch that, and then it'll reword it to kind of put it in that person's voice a little bit, kind of comical, stern, or whoever you pick for that. Now we're going to do a quick live demo to show you how some of the prompting works within ChatGPT do. And as you see, I use ChatGPT quite a bit. So let's say I want to get more information on let's not do that same. Okay, so just with that, it's going to give me all of this information. I don't know what I want to ask. I don't know what direction I want to go. So based on the information I have here, understand current business position, a clear growth strategy, improve operation efficiency, enhance marketing and branding, leverage digital transformation. Oh, this may highlight me right here because, all right, I know we're in a digital era and we need to, shift and do things, differently. All of these are good, but say if I want to just highlight here, let's talk about digital tools. When you're using the online version of ChatGPT, if you just highlight what it gave you, it's going to give you these reply marks. And when you click that, it's going to drop it down here. And I could just say, give me more details. And that way you don't have to retype anything. It's just going to read what you ask it to. It's going to give you more detail on what you refer to. And say you're not done. So while it's typing that, I could scroll back up and go back and say, okay, I wanted to look at something else. Okay, I like this here, but I want the whole section. Same thing. I'm going to highlight all of this, reply, Can you give me? Um, okay. When this happens, you got to remember there's a lot of people on here and it's going to happen. So I'm kind of glad that it happened here so you can see it because it will happen. You just have so many people on ChatGPT. So when I said redo it, here we go here. So it's repeating what we did previously. So I'm going to stop it because it did not catch what I did because of how I jumped off. So let's go back and say, um, and focus on the value of C suite executives. And I'm misspelling on purpose a little bit. Um, so you can kind of see, say C suite executives retaining staff. So it caught what I said. You can see it right here, C suite executive. So even though I misspelled it, it knew what I was talking about. So this is where I wanted to share with you that don't get so stuck on the spelling and sentences and all of that. It's going to pretty much read between the lines. And if it does not, just go back, retype what you're asking, and then you'll be able to see that. Now that we've gone through that live demo, you may be asking yourself, can ChatGPT really save me time and money? The answer is yes. Let me show you. Traditional writing on average would take you 6 to 24 months. And then look at the cost here. You're well over 10 grand already. And this is basic. Of course, this is going to determine the type of book, graphics, frameworks, and all these other things you may want to include. But bottom line, easily, this is probably where you're going to be if you use the traditional source. If you use Script Sculpt and the way that we're writing the book and utilizing ChatGPT, we will show you how to write that book less than $1,000. You will be able to get your book done less than 1,000. With writing, we were going to give you the tools and show you how to do this, so you will be able to take those tools and write the book yourself and be confident in the information that you're putting out. And within 2 to 4 weeks, you can have a book ready to be uploaded and put on Amazon. We put them side by side just so you could kind of get that full picture of what that looks like when you're comparing the costs to see what you would pay traditionally opposed to using ScriptSculpt and what we would do to help you throughout the process of writing your book and getting it done. Amazon bestseller. Great, amazing. That is the goal for so many authors, is to be an Amazon bestseller. We're not saying anything is wrong with Amazon bestseller, but if you're focused strictly on that, what about all the other opportunities that you have to get yourself out there and to make this book do what needs to be done? The possibilities are endless, but we're going to share a few of them with you. Speaker is so many stages that you could possibly have the opportunity to be on, and that could be local, national, international, um, globally. I mean, you do not understand the possibilities of getting a book done. Being a trainer, corporate training, being a CEO Connect. If your book is that resource, that CEO may refer back to you all the time for things that may need to be done because you are a trusted source. Being a consultant and also an authority figure in the industry. This is just a very, very small window of possibilities that you can have when you're writing a book, and how you can get that book out there and not be focused just on the Amazon bestseller. Your book can be a strategic asset that builds your reputation and magnifies your influence far beyond sales numbers. Can you imagine that? That your book can go far beyond your sales numbers? Far beyond that. Just think about that. Imagine how that can really make an impact. Now we're going to go into some success stories. A couple of people that I've worked with, talked with, shared ideas, shared information, and how it has saved them time by working in some of the things that they are doing. So now let's go back over, and I'm going to bring on Cheryl. I've worked with Cheryl on a previous course, a cohort that I was in, and she was one of the coaches there. So that's how we got connected and just stay connected. And every so often we may chat. And through those conversations, we would, talk about certain things. And I'm like, oh, wait, why are you doing it this way? And she's like, wait, what? So, Cheryl, thanks for jumping on. And if you could share a little bit on, you have all of my books in your hand. Well, the three that I have released, you have all three of those books. So if you share a little bit about your thoughts on those books and the value of them, and how, prompting and me giving you, those suggestions, how has it worked for you?
I definitely will. Thank you so much for having me. And what I want to share is I was fortunate enough to know Melissa prior to her book journey. So I actually have seen the entire book journey and how quickly she was able to bring her thoughts into it, as well as master AI and ChatGPT, and being able to write these books. I do have all three of them. They are phenomenal, and they're very much deep dives. I mean, they're not surface books. They actually go into the tactics as well as the strategy. And what she's helped me with is understanding that all of this thinking that I'm doing, because I'm kind of old school, is like, well, did you go to ChatGPT? Because you don't need to do all the thinking. You can think after you get more or less just a component to edit, right? But just as you were showing everyone, I've learned that I don't have to come up with everything. I can actually ask ChatGPT to come up with some of the outline, give me some ideas, and then I can hone in, even with ChatGPT, and add what I'd like to, maybe it's inspiration, or maybe it's my own journey, right? And I can add things to it, and it makes it so much easier, takes so much less time. And candidly, I feel like I'm on the right track, because ChatGPT is a partner, and the way Melissa crafts the prompts, she's helped me understand that crafting the prompts makes it a partner that not only understands you, but also when you're asking it something, you need to tell it not to hallucinate, but it's not going to take you off the deep end, off the end of the pier, because it knows who you are. She's crafted prompts. She's helped me take deeper dives with the prompts that I'm using. And really, it's just cut down on all the time. I've seen her put books out. I talked to her 1 month, and the next time I talked to her, she had 2 books done. So it's been just a pleasure to be involved and engaged. We talk through a lot of different mediums, but at the end of the day, I see her just doing the work, pumping it out, and really putting out quality products like the books that she's been talking about. So definitely congratulations there.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much, not only for everything, but, taking the time to jump on this evening as well.
Definitely. Absolutely. Thank you. This is great information. I know her. I know you. And I'm over here taking notes. So, thank you.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Cheryl.
Okay, thank you.
The next person I'm going to bring on is Desiree. Um, I met Desiree through a podcast. I reached out to her and asked her to be on my podcast. And afterwards, we just started chatting, and she was telling me some things that she wanted to work on, some of her visions. And she hired me, so I worked with her to help come up with some of those ideas and formulate her products. I don't know if she want to share them or not, so I won't. But just being able to, help her knock out a mission statement, knock out, taglines, and just some other things that we have talked about. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Desiree, for jumping on.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you for having me on this webinar. I'm excited to talk about the things that we've done and that we still have to do. So, I'm excited about that.
So, can you share, through the process, if you were to, sit and try to do some of these things, on your own, like you were doing, opposed to when we had started talking, we started working together, would you say that that reduced a lot of time and money that you would have spent or invested to try to get some of those things done that we was able to accomplish?
Oh yes, most definitely. Definitely save money, save time. The things like you say with the mission statement, because a lot of times, you know what you want to say, but you don't really know how to say it in the proper words. And to be able to use you to help me with that through AI is phenomenal. I mean, it stopped me from racking my brain and trying to come up with things. I remember when we were talking about doing some of the seminars for my business, and just the different ideas and the things that you came up with through AI was just mind blowing, and it saved so much time. There is so much that I can actually do right now because of all the time that was saved, because of the just not having to beat yourself up, kind of like your last lady said, trying to do it all on your own. It really made a big difference.
Thank you so much, Desiree, for jumping on and sharing your experience with working with me and with AI.
Yes, and I suggest and recommend anybody listening to this to work with Melissa, because she is the real deal. I think
Thank
she
you.
is, but I have to say it because you work with a lot of people, but Melissa's the real deal, and she will get you where you need to go.
Thank you. Now, if you have any questions or answers, because we did have to re record this due to the technical issues, send me a message on the platform, or you can send me an email. So just make sure, if you have any questions about anything, that I'm able to answer those questions for you. Now, let's get kick started. Even though this was an opportunity for the webinar, because of the technical difficulties we are expanding the time frame for the offer. So the offer is for you to work one-on-one with me to get your book title, to get you started on writing your book, and also give you a book outline template so you can have something to follow as you go through writing and completing your book. That offer is at 147. Just scan the QR code, and then you will be able to start, get your book title and everything done, so you could be well on your way to getting that book done. Say you want to move forward and I just want a book. I not only want your help with doing the title, I need to go through the process, get my book done. I want to have a book done before the end of this year. I need to have a book done before the end of this year. We have other opportunities available for you at discounted rates. Again, scan QR code, and when you scan that code, select you want to write your book now. You're going to set up an appointment, a one-on-one with me, and you will get a questionnaire to help me understand the direction that you want to go. and then we will have a discussion on the type of book, the time that's going to get it done. So you will have a book before the end of this year once you go ahead and get started. Thank you again. Here's my email address for you. If you need to send me an email, or you can send me a message on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, of course, is Melissa Ambers. Is most likely where you're seeing this. But if you're watching it on any other platforms or listening to it on any other platforms, um, make sure you come here and that you can shoot me an email again or a message in LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Um, so again, thank you again. And I truly apologize for the technical difficulties, but I wanted to re-record this and make sure that you had the information and that you were able to get everything, nothing was missed, and you were able to see everything that you needed to see to move forward to get your book done. I congratulate you for taking this first step, and I wish you much success on getting your book done, utilizing these tools, utilizing prompts, and doing it the right way to make sure you get what you need out of this. Again, scan the QR codes, pause this and go back, scan the QR codes to set up a one-on-one if you're ready to move forward, if you want to have that discussion to see, is this right for you? I'm here. Shoot me a message on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. I, again, wish you success and wish you a well journey with getting your book done before the end of this year.